Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits, as it should, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. We got a lot of stuff to get into in a very, very short amount of time. I'm trying to squeeze this in. This is the reason why we're going so early in the doggone morning, because we got some things we have got to talk about. Some things broke last night. Halloween night. Sorry, I was busy doing family stuff. I don't know about y'all, but the news be newsing out here, and this is some shocking stuff. But I still got to ask, is this real? I'm being dead. Is this real? Because I don't know if I could take more fake stuff. I don't know if I could do it no more. And also, who's this guy? Who is this guy? That's the other question I have, too. Anyway, we got to get into things because, like I said, we're here for a short time, good time, and an informative time. But we're here for a short time. So do me a favor. See, I'm even still getting all the sleep out of my body. Hit that like button out of my body. Hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. All right, crush that like button down below. Don't forget, if you are watching on other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. Follow me on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble. Follow. Hit that follow button. Also, crush that subscribe button here on my main channel. Make sure you get your tickets over to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you subscribe to the second channel. We got a lot of stuff going on over there and percolating out in these streets as well. A lot of things that I don't cover over here are covered over there. So make sure you go and check that out and subscribe. Also, hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family. Support the channel if you can. Of course, check out my Patreon and Locals if you want to support even further. Locals.com/The Pascal Show and Patreon.com/The Pascal Show. Let's not forget, check out my merch. We got some really great merch, kind of like this hoodie right here. It says Manifest on it. Go check it out. PascalMerch.com. Got some really great stuff over there. And of course, if you want to support my upcoming holiday special that I'm putting together right now as we speak, please go to my GoFundMe. The link is down below. I'll make sure I put it in the chat as well before the show is over. Support if you can. I got a holiday special coming right up your way here very, very soon. Okay? All right, guys. We got to get into this. Okay, now let me just say this, guys. I didn't expect this to happen last night. Now, we knew that there was going to be some sort of witness that was coming to the federal, that was going to basically do a testimony for the grand jury, everything against Diddy. And what's wild now is that we actually saw the witness out in the streets, which, by the way, clearly this witness doesn't give a damn. Clearly, this witness wants to be out here and be seen for sure. Let's keep it a bean. So all the other witnesses that we do know of, I think the only other one that we know was actually asked to come in as a witness in the grand jury is Kalina Harper. She's the other half of Dirty Money. Allegedly, she was sitting here saying, "Yeah, they're asking me to come in to testify as a witness for this grand jury that they're holding on you, Diddy." That's the only person that I can recall that has been out here that we know is a witness or was called in as a witness to the federal grand jury case against Diddy. Now, we already know that Diddy's locked up. The dude is locked up. He's in trouble. He's looking at some serious time. He's looking at some serious charges. And they say that with this new witness, which I'll pull up right here, with this new witness, Diddy could potentially be facing new charges, brand new mother-loving charges, on top of what he's already facing right now as we speak. Now, we talked about that yesterday on our little holiday or Halloween little show. And I know a lot of people weren't able to be there because it was Halloween. Y'all are busy getting your kids ready for the holiday. You guys are going out to trick or treat, doing whatever, all that stuff. But now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, excuse me. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the witness is seen outside, walking outside the courthouse. Now, after they got done testifying. And then he goes on to Ashley Banfield's show on on NewsNation. Okay. Shout out to Ashley Banfield because she gets an exclusive with the dude, which we are also going to be listening and checking out as well. This is some crazy stuff, y'all. This is absolutely crazy. This guy is claiming that this book, which I always have right next to me, he claims that this book is true. He says that there's some things that have changed in the book, but that he has the actual original unedited book, Kim Porter's book. So that is a for show. Then he also says that he has 8 different freak off videos in his possession where he says there's a bunch of celebrities and 2 of those celebrities happen to be littles. Indeed. So who the F, pardon my French, but who the F is Courtney Burgess? Who is this person? I'm still kind of curious about it. Now, let me just say this really quick. Let me just go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. This same guy came out and rocked the internet streets about a week or so ago when he did another interview on another platform in which he said, I got the tapes. I've been seeing the faces. I've been seeing the celebrities, all that stuff. He said all this kind of stuff, crazy stuff, which of course would blow anybody's mind. So he says he has the tapes and he goes into gruesome, very, very detailed information on those interviews way before he goes into the grand jury and gets and testifies on his behalf. But he claims to have these tapes. Now, also, I want to say Ariel Mitchell Kidd is also the lawyer representing this witness. We did talk about that yesterday when we found out that there was going to be a new witness involved in this whole grand jury indictment towards Diddy. We already knew about that. But now he has come out. And a part of me wonders, did they give TMZ and the news a heads up that they were going to walk out of this courthouse? You know what I mean? We're going to be out of there around this time. Just wait, and you'll get that exclusive interview. I don't know, but it is interesting nonetheless. There is an interview by TMZ that we are going to play, but I'm going to only play the audio, just a full-on heads up to that. But still, no matter what, I am just very shocked, to say the least, with all of this. And if what he claims is true, and that stuff ain't looking like AI, Diddy has a lot of explaining to do. Also, let's not forget, this also means, and I'm going to have to do the dun 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 again, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Some of y'all hate the sound effects, but I like them. So let me cook. But allegedly, well, now I would say, this means that the feds now have more tapes in their possession. Don't get mad. I'm just stating the news, y'all. And I would say I'm stating the obvious. If he claims that he has these tapes, you don't think that the feds ain't going to grab those mugs and get them in their possession? Now, if they didn't get them in their possession, then the feds are dumb. But let me say this again. The feds aren't dumb. The feds aren't dumb. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Feds, I know the feds are listening. So hold on. No. Time out. You ain't dumb. What I'm trying to say is you ain't dumb. Okay? Okay. Okay. They ain't dumb. They're going to get the stuff. If he's going to come in and testify, they're going to sit there and hand over the tape, sir. That's it. And yes, EL, Courtney Burgess allegedly was handed multiple flash drives that contained a gang of different things, including tapes of these freak-offs and, again, this book. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. So let's get into this article so we can get into these interviews, because I know you guys are here for the sticky, icky, gooey info. So let's get into this. A man who claims to have the tapes from Diddy's parties and the real Kim Porter memoir says he's been subpoenaed by a federal grand jury. We got attorney Ariel Mitchell. This is from TMZ. And her client, Courtney Burgess, Thursday outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. And they told us they just finished testifying for the grand jury. Courtney says he was initially contacted by agents from the Department of Homeland Security, one of the federal agents involved in the Diddy criminal case. Mitchell says her client was subpoenaed, and she claims they have evidence to corroborate some of Courtney's allegations. He's previously done interviews claiming he has or has seen salacious videos of Diddy and his celebrity friends. Plus, he says he has the unedited version of the diary allegedly written by Miss Kim Porter, R.I.P., Diddy's late girlfriend and mother of his 4 kids. Now, if I'm correct, it's 3. And then, of course, he took another kid under his wing, if I'm correct. So that 3 biological, 1 by relationship, if that makes any sense. But moving on, sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the subpoena from federal prosecutors asked Burgess to turn over all records, including thumb drives, hard drives, electronic storage devices, or devices containing videos and or other files depicting Diddy. Whoa! Are you kidding me? It's a wrap. If he really has this stuff, it's a wrap, son. Diddy be done though. If this be real though. Remember, this guy could be fake. I'm sorry to say that. And I don't mean that to be rude, but we have to err on the side of you don't know who's telling the truth, who's out here trying to get a bag, and who is just straight up lying because they just plumb crazy. I'm not saying this man crazy, but there's a possibility any of these people could be making things up for the sake of making things up. Let's not forget, there's 120 individuals that are going after Diddy right now, outside of the 13 individuals that have individually filed. I'm talking about the ones from Houston, from Tony Busby's corner. All 120 could very well be telling the truth, but all 120 could very well be lying through the damn teeth too. And it could be a mixture of some saying the truth and some that just slip through the cracks, hoping to grab a bag. Let's not forget that. And that's the same thing for any person that sits there and says, oh, I got the book. It be real. Or I got tapes from the freak offs. I saw such and such getting their back blown out high as hell on X, Y, and Z substances, and you see it clear as day in 4K. We have to be careful. But if the fact that he was brought in, he testified, and now he is giving over the hard drives, all the information, documents, anything depicting the diddler, it is done. They're not playing though, okay? The feds don't play. They don't mess around, y'all. Let's keep it real. They're not dumb. Yeah, he does kind of look like TD Jakes. Let's be real. When I first saw the image, all I saw was the image on Instagram on last night during the Halloween, people trick or treating and all that, right? And I saw it and I thought I almost dropped my phone. Literally, I was like, TD Jakes. I was like, oh my God, man, you don't understand. I was about to say, forget family time. I gotta go. I gotta go break this. TD Jakes. Like literally, I was like, oh no, it's not TD Jakes. Never mind. Damn. That would have been saucy though. Swallowed up. I mean, literally, if it was TD Jakes, I think we all would have pooped our pants. I almost did. It was terrible. I was like, what? And I'm like, oh no, that's not him. It was terrible. But moving on. All right. So the feds ain't dumb. Okay. The feds are not dumb. They're clearly going to be like, all right, you coming in. We're going to talk about this. And then you're going to give us everything you got. Because we need to make sure that what you have is actually true and can back what you say. And also, so we could use this in court because we can continue stacking more stuff against the diddler. And here's the thing. Remember what we talked about yesterday. They said that there's a good possibility that they could add more charges to Diddy. There's still room for all that to happen. Plenty of time between now and the 5th of May till Cinco de Mayo. Plenty of time. But here's the thing, though. I don't think that it's going to happen on May 5th because I think that they're going to keep stacking more things on top of Diddy. And if these videos are actually true and he really does indeed have hard drives of these things depicting all the things that he says are being depicted, including the book, Diddy's looking at some more charges here very, very soon. We could be hearing new charges possibly as soon as Monday. Shoot, as soon as today. You never know how damning this information is. If, again, and only if the footage and the documents that he has are actually real. Let's continue on. Sounds like a busy day in court for Ariel and Courtney because she also told our photog they were going to a separate hearing to determine what, if any, evidence they needed to turn over to the feds. So we already know he's already been locked up. And of course, we already know about this memoir. And the memoir, I am still wanting to know, as they say, people are casting doubt on its authenticity. I am still questioning its authenticity as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong for us to sit there and wonder how real it is or not. Because let's be real. This book is wild. And I will say this too. I mean, there are certain things that, okay, the kids have stepped forward and said, this book is absolutely false. I'll Be Sure has come out and said this book is absolutely, well, he didn't say the whole entire thing is absolutely false, but he said the things that are being said about him and Diddy getting it on is not true at all. But does he say that the whole book is fake? Then the other thing, a lot of other people, including myself, I've been side-eyeing it as soon as I read that part about I'll Be Sure and other things in the very beginning of the book. I'm like, nah, that can't be real. It just didn't seem real. But now we're going to hear from Courtney Burgess's own mouth. He says a bunch of different things. One of them, he says that the book is real. It's just been things have been just changed in this particular book. But like I said, there's only so much that we can really, what we can believe and what we can't believe when it comes to this book and the authenticity of this actual book. Anyone could have written this doggone book. And that's the frustrating thing about that. Now, let me share this one piece here, okay? So, of course, there's a doubt on his authenticity, and Courtney claims he has the real deal in his possession. Ariel tells us they are going to work with Amazon to get this book published themselves, though they don't have a timeline. Because at the same time, I'm wondering who actually possesses the rights to the doggone book, if the book is actually real. Because if the book ain't real, you can't first off, don't publish a book and then stamp on it saying the actual memoir of Kim Port if it ain't really hers. Then also at the same time, it's like, do you have the rights to even publish this book? Shoot, did Chris Todd, because his name is not really Jamal, he a white man. He ain't Jamal. When was the last time you met a white Jamal? Don't worry, I'll wait. Moving on, Chris Todd put this out, not Jamal Millwood. Did he have rights to this book? I'm just saying. I think these are all logical questions that we should be asking, not only just for ourselves, but for the people who are pumping these things out and trying to grab a bag off the demise of a beloved person. So let me play this audio, because I got to play the audio of this thing from TMZ. They're outside the courthouse, and it's Courtney Burgess and his lawyer, Ariel Mitchell Kidd. They're talking about everything. Let's take a listen to this. Hopefully it'll start here soon. Damn thing be tripping. There we go.
Have the feds been in contact with you? I did watch your YouTube interview. I saw as of 2 weeks ago they haven't been in contact with you. What about today?
Yes.
So they have been in contact with you. Is that why you're here today?
Yes.
Okay.
Homeland Security.
Oh, wow. So were you surprised, or was that the call that you were kind of waiting for?
Surprise.
Oh. Do you feel like the interview had anything to do with it, or?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you know Sean Combs?
Generation. Frank Lucas was my godfather and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you personally know him?
Not who? No, who personally?
Sean Combs.
Not personally.
But you know of him. He knows of you.
Yeah. I used to be in Tupac, Hussein Fatal. He stopped a lot of my music.
Okay, so he was a music producer and I guess knew Tupac fairly well. But how did he have this tape in the first doggone place? That's what I'm kind of curious about. But let's continue.
A lot of other people who didn't care about him. You understand? It's not around today.
Right. So
Stewart from Def Jam Records.
You made a lot of allegations, right? Are you expected to eventually turn those things over, or?
Well, that's what we're going to head over to do now. So we have a hearing now to determine what we're going to do in terms of what documents we'll have to turn over and what documents we do not.
Interesting. So they just got done with the hearing, and now they're going into, they had already had one hearing. Now they're going into another one, which is very interesting.
So why were you in court today?
Just to give testimony to the grand jury. He was subpoenaed by the court. So as we all know, if you don't answer a subpoena, the marshals will come to your house as they came to his house, and they will bring you here.
So the marshals showed up to, whoa. Yo, the marshals came up to his crib, knocked on the door, went rap on his chamber door and said, hey, we needed to come in like now. Ain't that wild? Here's the other thing too, guys. Here's the other thing too. This shows to you proof positive that they watching and they scouring the internet trying to find out if there's anybody out there that knows more or has information. And I will be straight funky with you all on this. You got a situation where you're clearly going on the internet, going on platforms and saying, I got the tapes. Yeah, damn right. The feds are going to be knocking on your door. Homeland Security is going to be knocking on your door. Come on. They're going to be like, hey, if you say you actually have this stuff, prove it. We need you to come in because we ain't dumb and we got people watching you and watching the internets and whoever else has been involved in things. And any person that's sitting there saying, yeah, I saw this person and that. I mean, he was name dropping, which I'm not going to do here. But he was dropping names in these interviews or in this interview. And I'm being real. Yeah, the feds are going to do what they need to do. Damn right. If they weren't doing it, I'd be like, you dumb. Ask the questions. Because as soon as you bring him in, he'll fold if he's lying. But it sounds like he didn't fold. Look, I'll just show his face again. Sounds like he's not lying. Or at least he's standing 10 toes down on it if he's lying. He's sitting there going, nah, I got this. I got this. So don't even try. Interesting, right? Now, just so you guys know, because Reality just asked, who is it? That is Courtney Burgess, the man in the glasses. The woman in the sunglasses is his lawyer, Ariel Mitchell Kidd. He allegedly says that he has tapes, 8 different videos of freak-offs depicting celebrities in unthinkable acts. That's what he claims to have in his possession. And in fact, he says 2 celebrities are littles in these tapes. He has them in his possession, which is also very, very interesting. So, of course, he says these things. He goes into this interview, and of course, it's going to blow everybody's minds. And of course, it's going to get the Fed's interest, especially when it blows up on the internet in the way that it did. So he's not stepping down. He's not crumbling. He's showing up and he's having these conversations. And now he's all up in the videos now too and getting interviews. And on Ashley Banfield last night, like I said, we got some things and we got some coverage to cover. So let's get into this.
So that's why we're here today.
I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual factual footage.
We have, it's things that we have, but we got to go to the other courthouse. So I don't know if that's any more questions, but we got another.
She's like, oh, we got it, but there's only so much we can do. Well, let's walk and talk. So they start following.
The flash drive before, I know you did mention what was on the flash drive before. Would you be able to kind of go over that now, or is that something that you can't discuss?
No, we're trying to discuss that now, what we will be able to talk to in terms of what was available and what was on those flash drives.
Okay.
It's very interesting. This whole thing is very interesting to me. This turn of events, this information, because of course I got a lot of questions, and I know that there's a lot of things that they can't answer, but then there's other parts of me that wonder, are they holding other pieces of information out for an opportunity for a bag? I mean, think about it. I know that there's certain things that they can't say because it's now a part of a federal investigation. But there is certain pieces of information that they could talk about, but they're maybe withholding because they're like, oh, we're waiting for the highest bidder. We're waiting for that Oprah moment. We're waiting for that book deal. We're waiting for that movie deal, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying here? This is very interesting. And then at the same time, I don't know. I got so many questions, guys. Let me play a little bit more of this, and we're gonna get into the Ashley Banfield interview.
Okay.
But it was the book,
So it is Kim Porter's book, but not necessarily
Kim Porter's
some
book.
of the stuff with the celebs that were mentioned besides.
It's hers. Nobody touched it.
Oh, so it is her official book,
Yes. Nobody.
and no one touched it.
Nobody altered it. Nothing.
So it's not the copy that the gentleman said that he was selling before. No.
It's two different copies. That one was edited, and we have the original copy.
So now they're saying that they have the original copy, and that the one that's out here, this actual book right here, is the one that is actually edited, doctored, messed with. They have the original raw copy. Interesting. It's very interesting, right? So let's continue on. And what say you guys? Because like I said, I got a lot of questions. I got questiones because a lot of this, to me, I think we'll know more when the feds are done going through the flash drives that he claims that he has. When they go through all the documents and all that, we will, I'm sure, see the truth. That'll eventually be unearthed. That's just my theory. But I'm wondering if this is true. Then the other thing, too, the Truth Dragon just said, and I was just about to say this, good question. I'm wondering how they got this stuff as well. Let's be real. How the hell did Courtney Burgess get his hands on this book, on any of these tapes? The other question, too, somebody else asked it in the chat, and I've said this a million times before. You mean to tell me that you have tapes of littles involved in these types of acts, and you're not getting slapped with some sort of charge? You're not getting arrested for holding and containing CP? I'm just saying. And he's been holding onto that for years, y'all. So why aren't you in trouble for that, though? Make that make sense. Now, maybe there's some sort of loophole that he's hopping through, legal loophole that he's hopping through, but something about this does not feel completely 100%. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'll believe it when I see it. Show me the Carfax. Let me see the facts. Real quick, Bird fam, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Tupac and Kim Porter had an intimate something relationship. I don't know what you mean by that, but I think that they did have an intimate relationship. That's what they say out here in these streets. Maybe it came from that way. Kim knew this guy through Tupac. That is true. That's what I'm gathering as well. Maybe that was the situation, but that's what the rumors are, that there was some sort of intimate relationship that this book even claims it. Okay. They even talk about it in this book as well. And again, for me, I need to see more. That's just it. I just need to hear more. I need to see more proof. I'm not sitting here saying that I need to see leaked images out here and stills out here, but at the same time, I just need something that's going to really send it all the way home, showing me proof positive. Yes, this is indeed the freak offs. You know what I mean? And this is indeed her book. Because why would somebody put out a doctored memoir of Kim Porter? Meaning, not only just taking out certain names, that's fine, whatever. Some names are in places will be changed to protect the identities of certain people. Sure, that's fine. But why add salaciousness into it? It's already salacious. The salaciousness is enough already in Kim Porter's book. So why add another scene? Oh, let's add a scene between Albie Shore and Diddy. That people will love that. No, we won't. We're going to be like, what? This is so fake. This cannot be real. At least that's how I feel about it. So let's get into this interview with Ashley Banfield. Shout out to NewsNation for getting this exclusive interview. I think this is very, very, I'm glad that he went on to another platform and did did an interview as well, because honestly, I think we all have questions. And it's crazy that he was spotted outside the courthouse, but I do feel like that was choreographed. Sorry, not sorry. I just feel that how would TMZ, how would any news media of any kind know that he was going to be walking out the doggone courthouse at that particular time to be questioned those questions at that specific time. You see what I'm saying? To me, it feels a little bit planned, little choreographed, with all due respect. But let's get into this. Let us get into this.
Guest just testified.
This is some wild stuff. And he just testified, and now he's out here in these streets telling everyone that he testified. Now, again, this could be two different things. One, he's absolutely telling the truth. He has the tapes. He has seen them, and he knows a lot more than we have ever known. Or he's mother-loving crazy, and he's just making all of this stuff because he's just knucking crazy. Those are the two choices we got. Because why would you put your face out here in front of everybody and their mama saying, I got the tapes, I got the original manuscript for her memoir, it all be real. Why would you put all that stuff out there? Why would you put your face out there like this? And if you're lying, why would you attach yourself to a big, bold-faced lie like this? You are either crazy, or you're crazy enough to think that your lies are going to stick. When you know for a fact the feds will pick and comb through that stuff and find every single nuanced thing to show proof positive that those videos are fake, or that you don't even have the videos, or that you just are straight lying. So the fact that he is coming out and he's putting his face out here as well says a lot. It does. But at the same time, there's been plenty of people that have said, oh, I'm a victim of such and such too. See my face, feel sorry for me, give me book deals. And then suddenly you find out 2 seconds later that they're lying too. So again, we got to take this with a grain of salt and just roll with it. But it does say something. It does say a little something when they're willing to come out and die on the hill, stand on business, 10 toes down. It does say something. Here's my face. Come at me. Right? It does say something. So let's continue. Let's take a look at this video. Shout out to NewsNation, Ashley Banfield, the exclusive.
Because my next guest just testified before a federal grand jury. He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his...
Hold on. Now, right here, I'm rolling that back a little bit.
That her 4 kids insist is fake. 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that he was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. In the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes. We know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not.
8 celebrities NewsNation now knows the names of 8 of these celebrities that were victims of these crimes that were depicted in these freak-offs. I just want to let you guys know that as well. Wow.
Here now is my conversation with Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded.
That's crazy.
Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes. That's what took place. Yes.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms.
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. I was there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding it or whatever, but I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney? And Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them looking for me. They said, the paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. I told him, I can't make it there, that's tomorrow. So I don't know. From the look of it, it was 4 days.
And I want to be specific. When we talk about a raid, we're talking about when a subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena, they use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed or understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him a subpoena.
Ariel, do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
Again, he did a big old interview on the internet. I'm sorry, on YouTube. A lot of people have been reacting to it when it first initially dropped. Everybody and their mama was absolutely shook. And then feds came up to his house. Ding dong. How you doing, Mr. Burgess? We need you to come with us. We understand that you have information and have videos that you should not have in your possession at all that depict crimes and also have things that involve littles. Why don't you come on with us? Let's have a conversation. No, you're not arrested. You're not in trouble or anything, but we want you to come in so we can get a full breakdown of what's going on because we need that information because that could bury Diddy under the prison even deeper. So come on over here. Let's have a conversation. You like coffee? Are you a coffee drinker? Cool. Let's come on. Let's go grab a cup of coffee. And let's have a conversation. He gives me CeeLo Green vibes as well, just so you guys know. That makes me crazy. Yeah. Also, please, guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Let's get it to 1K. We're almost halfway through to 1K. Okay, a like don't cost a thing. Helps grow the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We're almost at 150K. Wow. So please subscribe. We're almost there. So keep hitting that subscribe. Follow. All of that goodness. Okay, guys? We got things to get into. We got conversations to get into. Okay? Mimi, thank you so much for all the super chats and the super stickers. Yes. We are here for the where are the pumpkins for our mods? Yes. Put in the pumpkins for the mods, please. You know what I mean? Show some love for the mods, okay? Show some love for the mods for show. Thank you so much, Mimi, for all of that. Yes. Shout out to all my mods for always holding it down. You guys are incredible. Let's get into this.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury. Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if
Appeared
they
to be.
were. Right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let
be.
me rephrase
right,
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence
All
of drugs?
of them.
Man. Again.
Out of those 8, how many
Woo.
appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
I mean, that's
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
all of them victims. All of them were seemingly under the influence from what he saw in these videos. There's 8 individuals. 2 of them happen to be littles. This is absolutely crazy. And again, what he's claiming, if those things are true, if there are actual 110% facts, Diddy's in a world of trouble. In a world of trouble.
They were all 8 were victimized,
Yeah.
meaning
Victim.
this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know.
I
We don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60, it's only about 54 pages. It was
Sure, and in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Wait a second. Oh, maybe he hasn't read this book. Maybe that's what he means.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
Hold on, I'm rolling that back.
To the world, the way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here,
Yeah.
the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Interesting. So he has the unabridged, unedited version. Somebody else took it, edited it, and put it out. At least this is what I'm breaking down so far. This is so odd. What the hell's going on here?
Okay, so Ariel, did your client Courtney receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, "I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print"?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can answer
I
that.
received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
Who was she dating at that time?
Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it.
You spoke
So-
to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim
Just
Porter.
saying hi.
Okay.
Just saying hi. Didn't
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him
Ariel.
to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with
No,
her
I was
or
talking
just-
to the person and he said, "Hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him." He said, "I know him, put me on speaker." Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later,
Then
somebody
later.
brought somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that the manuscript is truly based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there is a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
No
I
doubt.
guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through. It's, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship. And when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Huh. I mean, let's be real. I understand. I get people are going to remember things that they want to remember, and of course, when you're rewriting something, I mean, you're not going to remember every single word that comes out of that person's mouth, but you're going to remember the moments. Now, those parts could be recollections of her own memory, but that also still depends on if the manuscript, this memoir that she wrote, this diary, is actually real. And let's not forget, too, when somebody goes through something that is extremely catastrophic, they remember there's a lot of things that get burned in the brain. Maybe they don't remember exactly what the words that came out of somebody's mouth, but there may be phrases that they remember. There may be phrases that just stay burned in their brain. That could happen. Also, you got to remember, after these moments that happen, if she is actually writing this book, she's going into her laptop or into her journal or her little diary and writing these things out. I'm sure as soon as the incident is done or near the end of the day, that kind of thing. And it's true. It's hard to remember everything that you do, but if you've experienced any type of trauma, anything traumatic, you're going to remember certain things, certain bullet points, certain pivotal moments. So I don't know, but I got to roll it back a tiny bit. I got to find it again. Because when they start talking about the freak off, the book, just one more time, something about it just seems. I just need to hear the beginning of this one more time.
Together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60.
Okay.
Only about 54 pages. It was.
Sure. And in the beginning, it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote up the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
Now, here's the thing. That is the part that I wanted to listen to again, because that part that I'm a woman of my word, all that stuff. I mean, clearly it's not in this book, because that's why I was like, let me just open up the book and see what's up, see if that's something being said in here. It doesn't say that in the book. So Ashley Banfield and her team got their hands on some of the stuff that they got something from Courtney B. They definitely got something from Courtney B, because there's no way that they were able to. It's not in this book. I mean, I'm looking at the disclaimers thing, and it literally goes from disclaimers straight into table of contents to chapter 1. So I mean, it's very quick. There's just a disclaimer, just saying this is her final. This is Kim Porter's final wishes. Was for this, for this diary or memoir diary to be made public out of protection of certain parties and other potential criminal activities. Some celebrities, performers, and events have been represented with X's, which, by the way, is minimal at best, using the X's, okay? Due to their highly explosive nature, at some point in the future, this information will be revealed to the public regarding Kim Porter's sudden death and the mysterious illnesses of Albie Shore and Jamie Foxx. Evidence does exist. The point that points to foul play and or poisoning. That's lit. And then it says, God bless Kim Porter and all of the Sean Combs victims, both male and female. This is literally what it says in the the first page of this book. Literally. So what she read is something that I have never seen. So clearly she has the Kim Porter unedited intro page to this memoir. Again, if this memoir is real. But the question is, and still remains, who the heck wrote that intro? And then, of course, where did Courtney B get these flash drives in the first place? He got it from somebody. So make that make sense. But let's continue on. It's, I think, somewhere around here.
About Diddy today, I asked him about any of these crimes, but of any crime. Important.
I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in their relationship. And you can't, when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Important to stop down here for a moment and note again that Sean Combs is accused. He has not been convicted of any crimes. And so far, everything against him is an allegation until it is proven in a court of law and a jury either decides or he decides to sign a plea deal to any of these crimes. But at this point in the story, Sean Combs is not guilty of any crimes. He is currently under indictment. He is currently being held on bail. But if you're at all curious about how Courtney Burgess feels about Diddy today, I asked him about that too. And here's what he had to say. Your lawyer just said the story the tapes tell are the story of Diddy from the last several decades. And I know that you've known Diddy for a very long time. Can you describe what that story is based on what you now know to be true, the last several decades of Diddy's behavior and the reason he's now sitting in lockup?
I think I've been doing it for 35 years. I think we probably entered the music business at the same time. He entered with Uptown. I entered into Big Beat, Atlantic. At the time, I guess he was ambitious. He was then from ambitious went to doing anything, and then from doing anything to didn't care about nobody, who he could beat, and then he ended up turning into Lucifer. And today, I look at him. I know y'all call him Diddy or Puffy. I call him Lucifer.
Wow. He calls him Lucifer. Now, hearing that information, what say you guys? Now the guy is out in these videos, not only in just those interviews on the internet, he's now on Banfield. And I'm sure he's going to be in a slew of other interviews very, very soon. Wait for it. He'll be sitting with Gayle King if these things stick. He'll be sitting with Gayle King and all that. But what is more important than anything else is showing proof positive that the tapes are real that he has, the manuscript that he has that's from allegedly Kim Porter's memoir, that's real as well. They need to make sure, more important than anything, cut out all the craziness, cut out all the salacious titles and all that. The most important part here is that they actually have footage that is real. That everything that Courtney B is saying is absolutely true. If he's lying, then we've just wasted our time, which is really, really sad, because that just goes to show to you that there could, if it's fake, there are a lot of people out here that are going to try to do everything they can to just get a bag or to just get attention. But my question remains about him. Would somebody really be that diabolical to go out here and just put their name, their face, their everything on the line if they truly were there to just lie? I don't know. That's not how I roll. That's definitely not how I roll. But I know that there are people out here in the world that are wild enough to do something like this. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I do not believe him. I'm saying let the truth and the facts present themselves. And we will find out very, very soon. The feds are now getting possession of those videos and everything that's on those hard drives, all of them. They're going to comb through that stuff. If it's fake news, if this is all BS, we will never hear anything about Courtney B ever again, from the feds at least. I'm sure the internet will string them out to dry. A public quartering will happen, I'm sure, if this is fake. But if this is real, then we will hear from the feds if there are new charges put on Diddy. And that could happen as soon as the end of the day today. And if that's the case, then that shows us that Courtney B did have damning information, damning evidence that could bury Diddy deeper under the prison. And that's some wild stuff. It takes a lot of guts to step forward and be out here in the public to put all this information out here saying, I have the tapes, I've seen the things, I got her manuscript. The one that you guys are reading right now isn't the real deal. Holyfield, we got the real one. And all that. That is crazy. But I keep saying, we're going to have to sit down. We're going to have to sit patiently and wait to see what they find in this. Because when they do come through the 11 hard drives and see for themselves whether he really does have incriminating videos in his possession or not, there's going to be something going on in the streets and in the news. We will find out very, 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 very soon. But again, guys, what say you guys on that? You know, is it, do you believe it? Do you think it's fake? What are your thoughts? Nicole Harris, thank you so much. What's crazy, a lot of things Wendy said on the radio back in the early 2000s. Yep. Gene and Mace also said some things. Gene Deal's been saying things. Okay. He continues to say more things. And I believe him. I believe Gene Deal. Real talk. Suge said some things. It connects. Yeah. Suge definitely said some things as of recently. The raw, hard-boiled eggs. I don't think I'll ever not know that phrase. Ever. That is forever burned in my brain. Just nasty. But still, guys, pretty crazy information. We see the witness. He's out here. He's standing on business. We're going to see what happens here. What say you? Do you feel it? Do you think he's fake? Or do you think the guy is telling the truth? Anyway, guys, that's the show. I appreciate all y'all. Quick little reminder. At noon, I will be live with the man, the legend, DMC of Run DMC, live, if everything goes according to plan, live at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I need you guys to be sure to tune in and be a part of the conversation, because it is a conversation you don't want to miss. We're going to be talking about the industry. We're going to be talking about a whole lot of stuff. We're going to be definitely talking about Diddy and all the stuff that's been going on. We got a lot to talk about. I'm really looking forward to it. It is happening 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. We may be a tad bit late because it's the first live ever. First live ever. But we will be there, going live with y'all. So we will be talking about a bunch of things and then some. So I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really does mean a lot. 12 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on The Pascal Show. So before I head out, hit that like button down below, crush it, hit that reaction button, please and thank you. If you're watching on other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble. I'm on all of them. Subscribe here on the main channel, please. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you subscribe to both of these channels, okay? Because there's a lot of things percolating out here in these streets. Make sure you do that. Also, hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my locals and my Patreon. Patreon.com/The Pascal Show and locals.com/The Pascal Show. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Check out me merch page. We got some really great merch. Go check it out. Handcrafted. Hoodies, t-shirts, etc. Go check it out, pascalmerch.com. And if you want to support my holiday special, which is rapidly approaching, please go down to the description box, click on that GoFundMe, and support. A little goes a long way, and it'd be great to have your support. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. We'll be sitting across from a legend again for the second time, and I'm looking forward to it. It's time to get into some real conversations. I'll see you guys then. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.